I apologize for the audio in my recent videos. It wasn't me, it was the GoPro. I use GoPros for my videos, and I have an old 8 black, and the one that had the audio issues was a 10, the Hero or whatever you call it. So I researched it, and the Hero, or the 9 and the 9, I think 10, there's no software update. It just that like the first few seconds of filming, it will be scratchy. So in the last video, I literally tried to pause for a second when I hit record, and then I paused, and then I started talking, and that didn't really do much. So I ended up just buying a new camera. This is the 11. It was at Costco, and it had a deal and all the accessories. So now I have multiple batteries for my cameras. I'm not sure what to do with the one with the audio issues. So I hope this one comes out clear and you can hear me. But yeah, so I hope that goes well. But just wanted to interject. I have a new camera, so there should be no audio issues. Update firewood stand. People have been buying a few bundles here. That $20 rack is gone. Someone did buy the $30 rack with the bigger pieces the other day, which I was surprised. And they bought a bundle of premium firewood. So that was a $40 sale, which is great. So it's picking up for November, which is good. But I wanted to do a video on the difference of my kindling, since it's my top grossing product that I sell at the firewood stand. So I'm gonna get into that. I did make some more, or split some more kindling the other day. I didn't put it on video because I need to get it done as soon as possible. But I have two bundles right now of premium, and then in the back there I got 3 bundles, I believe, of the regular or the non-premium. So I wanted to do a video on the difference in how I decipher and define between the both. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so I'm all set up with Timber Champ right here, and a wheelbarrow full of pre-cut and pre-positioned pieces of cedar. I've learned a little bit about doing that, and I'll share it with you in a minute. I wanted just to remark on the Timber Champ, it seems to be a workhorse. I appreciate it. Definitely does not have the power as the Champion does. So I literally only use it to make and split kindling, because I mean I want my pieces of kindling to be small, and the Champion can do that, and it's I would say maybe safer than the Timber Champ, because the Timber Champ is a kinetic splitter, whereas the Champion is hydraulic, right? So this is a faster runtime than the Champion, but definitely does not have the power. The other issue that I have found with the Timber Champ is that it is electrical. So whenever I want to run it, I run a cord, hence this red cord here, to the garage, because I don't have any power out in the yard. There's power to me out here in the backyard is in the garage at the front of the door. I'm going to run a big cord, so this will run. So that is the hardship. It's just one more thing to do, as opposed to having to stoop, turn on, and pull up, and you have gas powered engine. It would go anywhere, right? So I'm happy with this machine. I appreciate it's on a cart, as someone mentioned before on previous video. But yeah, so this wood in the wheelbarrow came from this pile right here that you've seen before. So this stuff I have split a while ago. Cedar definitely dry, and I tried to see how the pieces are flat. So as mentioned before, they're flat like this. So when I run it through the splitter, I cut it only at one side, and I have kindling. But what I didn't realize in doing that, so I thought that was a good idea, which it is. I still feel. But what I did not do is, when I was picking out the pieces, I want to make sure that they are like this, totally clear, straight grain, no knots. So that will go through the kinetic splitter, fine. It's the ones that have the knots in it, like this one right here, you can see that's gonna have a hard time. So anything with non-ended branches is gonna have a hard time to go through, as well as what I did is I left on the bark. So this gets into the difference of what I sell, what I call premium cedar kindling versus non-premium, or just like regular stuff like that. So let's get to splitting. So I usually do a wheelbarrow full of the pre-split at a time, and this is the aftermath right here. There's that nail that we found before, you see it right there in the split that you saw in the video, and some landed in the mud, which sucks. But what you saw was the process in real time of how I split cedar kindling with my kinetic splitter. Now there's folks that sell kindling, but it's a mix of wood or like a certain type of wood. I had one customer, I think I did a video on it. He wanted kindling, but he wanted something other than cedar. I think he was burning outside, and as you all know, and he knew that he didn't want cedar because it popped. So he wanted something different. So I had to literally go into my fur pile. Sorry, I'll put on my hat for you. I had to go into my fur pile and make him kindling that was from fir as opposed to cedar. But cedar, I believe, is known as being like the go-to king of all kings for kindling. Now, if you have offcuts or you have a processor, yeah, sure. I mean, use that so you're not having to split twice. Now, but I don't have a processor. I just have a splitter to do like my main firewood, like my hardwoods. But I feel that it's still to make this kindling out of cedar, I still believe makes sense. Now I've learned over time of how to perfect this system, as well as how I sell it. So let's get into that now. When I was splitting, you saw when I had a round, I would kind of go flat. Oh, there we go. I kind of go flat like this, ram it, and then kind of feed it that way. So I would split and then feed, split, feed, and that would produce these smaller pieces. Now some of the pieces the flat pieces came with bark, and when you split, sometimes if you put the bark on end, so it's like right at the wedge, you can split and the bark will just pop off. Especially when the pieces are seasoned, it will just pop off because my premium firewood, or sorry, my premium kindling does not have bark on it. My premium cedar kindling is let's see if I can find a piece. It's more or less looking like this. It's very small. It's straight grained or clear, no knots, and it's pretty much uniform in terms of the there's no like funkiness to it. So this would be a piece at 16 inches, more or less, piece that I would add to my $10 bundles of premium cedar kindling. Now the stuff that's in my $5 bundles, which is more or less half of a cubic foot, I would put in stuff with bark, or I would take out the bark, or not add a lot of bark to that bundle, and I would burn this in my own wood stove. That's one of the differences. The other difference is if there's like a knot, like this bad boy here, that would go in the non-premium $5 bundle. Yeah, we don't want to add bark to it. We toss it to the side. A piece like this, how it cut, it's not uniform. It kind of tapers at the end. That would go in the non-premium pile. See, this piece is here. It looks good on the side. It's too flat. I could have done that one more time. See that? But it has bark on it. So that's going to go in the non-premium. A piece that's going to be premium, this is odd shaped, but that's not the fault of the splitter. That's how it grew. This piece here would probably go in the premium pile. Same with this piece here. That's pretty much uniform, small split, a straight grain, no knots. This is a prime candidate to go in the premium bundle. So it doesn't take too much time to kind of sort it. What I do right now is I will stack these stuff that's split into the wheelbarrow, and stuff that's left over I'll kind of line and stacked so they're all aligned like this, you know, on one area in the mixing tray. So stack it all uniform like that. So when I move it over to the bundler, all I'm doing is looking at it and putting it in the bundler, as opposed to having just like move pieces around. It just makes it more efficient. So let's do that now. I won't sort it right now. I'll just put it, the bulk of it, in the wheelbarrow, and then whatever's left I'll put it in the mixing tray, and we'll go over to wood bundlers. This is my bundler. You've seen this a few times in my other videos. Just made out of scrap pallet wood. This is more or less 1 cubic foot here. So I wanted to go back to where I was splitting the kindling, the cedar, and I tossed a few pieces to the side. Those are pieces that had too big of knots in it that wasn't worth splitting, so I tossed to the side just to burn. Again, I've learned when I'm splitting cedar for kindling, to find rounds that are clear, or like maybe one portion has a branch or a knot in it, but maybe there's a round that one half would be clear, and I will make that into the long boards type thing for cedar. And if there's a knot in it, then that wood we split into either regular campfire bundle wood or for rack wood, depending on where the knot is and how big or small I can split that round. So then the cedar that I have, so that was the first time that I was splitting cedar rounds into like flat boards for kindling specifically. So a learning process. So I have since, when I get cedar rounds and I want to make some of the rounds into for kindling, then I will do that process to assess the round itself, to split open a part, and if it's clear, then split that into those boards. If it's not, then that will go into splits for rack wood or for campfire bundle wood. So yeah, so without further ado, let's make a pile. Get my wrap. So what I do, the process is I'll without having to spend too much time on it, is to find the premium grades. So we'll be doing some premium firewood now, and get rid of the bark ones. So this one here is okay. So I'll put that down. This looks pretty good. And without having to spend too much time to assess a few and put them in to the bundler, ones that have the bark, this will go in a bucket at my feet. For the non-premium, same with this one, and it got kind of dirty in the mud, which is unfortunate, but it goes there. So yeah, we'll just keep finding the clear pieces. Now this one had the nail in it. I'll sell that because it will burn. That's fine. Put that in the bucket. This one here looks good. He looks good. Now there'll be a few of you that think I am crazy. I am nuts. All wood burns. What you're doing is time consuming. See this one here? Sorry, side note, this is kind of curved. I'll call that in non-premium, put that in the bucket. That I'm nuts. Like, and because the cedar is good. It's seasoned and it will be good kindling, etc. And yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with you, but I want people to come back to my firewood stand and buy, and buy my cedar. I do sell the $5 half cubic foot bundles at my firewood stand, but I tend to sell more of the $5 premium ones. Now granted, I have my $5 premium ones at the front of the stand, well, the face that is at the driveway, as opposed to the ones that are $5, I have them on the other side, so I have to walk around the other side of the stand. I'll show you when we're done here what I mean. So maybe that's in terms of placement. People don't know or see the $5 ones, but it could be just they have bought one $10 one that says premium on it, and they like the quality of the wood, and they'll keep going back for the 10s. And with having to call it premium versus like regular or whatever, non-premium, I don't know what you would call it. I feel that when people, I mean, like $10 for a bundle of wood, I mean, that's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? So I want them to open the bundle of wood and see it like, wow, like this is good looking wood. And maybe they're not like a wood connoisseur, but I want them to feel at least content, maybe happy about their purchase, that they looked at the wood and it looked good to them. Smaller splits, not too big. Maybe they'll use 2 to 3, maybe a handful to start up the wood stove with their fire at a time, and so they won't. So one bundle should last them a long time. With the $10 bundle, that's going to be more or less 1 cubic foot of wood. No, I don't use bags. I don't use labeling on mine. These are not selling to a gas station or a store to resell. This is just straight from my firewood stand. So there's nothing fancy. I don't need to upgrade my bundle system. I feel that this is working quite well. We're using just a wrap here, and then having to hand do it, not having to invest in a bundler. So far, this is working out great. The only thing I can see that I could improve is to have some of the cedar already split, so I can make these bundles. So when I'm out, I don't have to take out my splitter, bring out a cord, and then plug it in, and then, because I'll get what, maybe like 3 or 4 bundles from this load, which is good. I mean, I don't sell a whole bunch of Cedar Kindling at a time, so it could sit there at the stand for several weeks before it's sold, right? But when it happens, I want to make sure that I could restock it, because when someone comes to the firewood stand and they really want kindling and they prefer the $10 one, or I don't have any bundles, campfire bundles, then they may not come back again, because they came all this way. Because sometimes I get sales and I just know someone came because there's wood missing, and I look at the cash box and there's money in there, or I look at my phone and I'm like, bam, Venmo. If they come without telling me or asking me, hey, is this available, or hey, do you have any more of this? They just come and pick up. And if I don't have what they're looking for, they may not come back again. They may go to local hardware store, the gas station, grocery store, and get their campfire bundles, or find someplace else to find their kindling, which is fine. But I want to make sure that I'm prepared for them to. So yeah. So this is more or less 1 cubic foot. Now, so let's go ahead and bundle this up. What I do is I'll take one piece, wrap it once or twice, and then put it down where it kind of locks itself into place carefully. I'll do the first wrap kind of loose, so I'm not putting too much tension on it, and then it will connect to itself, and then this is where I put my tension on it. Alright, so that's the first premium bundle. Set that aside. So as I was talking with you, making that bundle, I kind of sorted a little bit. So this piece here has bark on it. This is piece here has a nail in it. This is here has that knot in it. Bark. Bark. It's kind of big and a knot. So this is all fine kindling, you know, but it's just not good looking, and I don't want to sell it for premium. This here's a little curvature on it from a knot, so I'm gonna put that here. Now with these bundles, usually they're gonna be 16 inches more or less average length, but I'll have these like smaller pieces in here too, and I'll add them to that. Now, not like for filler. This is good kindling too, but it's not all uniform length. So I'll just add it in the middle for people, and add that to your pile with your wood starter, and that'll definitely help to start your fire. So this here has a little hole in it from the knot, and this here has a little knot in it too, like that. This one here is kind of wonky, not uniform. This here has some rot in it, so I'll add this to here. Oddly shaped, and then the knot. This is just kind of split to hell and not looking good, so I add that here. This is like all over the place, all twisty from when it grew. I'll add that here. Little curvature to it. So like, yes, I'm being picky with this, with making these half bundles, but I feel that to bundle up the $10 bundles of what I'm calling premium cedar kindling, I want to make sure that the customer feels that they're getting quality wood for the price they're paying. So there's some rot in this one right here. This one, it's not uniform. There, and we have some like smaller pieces. Add that to it. This here looks good ones. I'll save this for premium. That's just kind of like all odd. Bark. Bark. It's a good one. It's that big nasty knot in it. So hopefully after I get through where I picked the flat pieces, the boards for my cedar, after I get through to that, then I'll go into the stuff that I split this past summer of cedar to make more kindling. And hopefully that the pieces won't have any knots in it. That's what I'm hoping. So this piece looks good. This has bark on it. So in a bit, I'm gonna eye it and see where we're at, and we will make a small piece. We'll make a half bundle, so it'll be more or less a half cubic foot of cedar kindling see that that's kind of not straight, of cedar kindling, and that will go into the $5 bundle pieces. So yeah, our section. So yeah, they're not uniform. Bark, just kind of not the same shape. So you let me know in the comments if you think I'm nuts, if I'm spending too much time on making these bundles or not. But I will tell you, I feel that as other YouTube channels have recently suggested, there is money in kindling. People can buy firewood anywhere. They could buy it, like I said, at the gas station. They could go online and buy a third of a cord or a cord or 2 cords, whatever they need for their firewood needs. But how are they going to start that fire? Most people don't think about that until like, oh, like I need matches or I need newspaper. Like, hey, like I need kindling. I need something to start the fire with. So to have kindling available, especially when you have a firewood stand, I think is a good idea. So this is more or less half, maybe a little more than half of a cubic foot. It's not tight in the middle, so I'm going to add a piece to make it tight. So I added too much to this one, but they won't complain. Alright, so now that I've made one premium bundle and one non-premium bundle, I'll speed it up and let's go. So I got about 4 bundles from that wheelbarrow load of cedar. I was working on a 5th, but it wasn't quite enough, so I'll just put that aside for next round. So yeah, so this is my driveway here. People come up to the road, and the first thing you see on the front face of the stand is the $10 premium kindling bundles. So it could be I sell more 10s of cedar kindling than 5 because it's the first thing you see, whereas the 5s are on the other side. Walk around here, or the back side, and the 5s are right here, and you see they're shaped, and they have the knots and the bark on there. So they're definitely the same stuff that I was just bundling a moment ago. So I think my process makes sense. I don't know. The firewood business is not a science. You know, it's to each their own. But I feel that kindling is definitely a great money maker. And with cedar, I always have an abundance of cedar. No one really wants cedar because it's a soft wood and it's hard to sell just straight cedar. I have a market for it, and I have perfected that in my opinion. And with the kindling, I feel that I'm doing good on that. So without having to be too fancy with bags or some sort of like logo on the packaging, it's just straight up a homemade bundler with stretch wrap, and we put it at the stand and it sells. Granted, I'm not selling 10 bundles a week. I sell maybe like 1 or 2. They're not flying off the shelves, but they're there, and I'm in no rush to sell my wood. No rush. Yes, I had a goal of how much money I wanted to gross this year. I'm not quite at that point. Granted, it's still mid-November, more or less. I still have 6 weeks to go. It may pick up more as it gets colder and colder here locally. But yeah, we'll see. But if I had to sit on wood, it's not like I'm gonna be freaking out. Like, this is not my full-time job. It's definitely a side hustle. So I'm in no rush. When people like will ping me like, oh, it's the off season, so let's make a deal on your wood. No, I sell wood all year round. Either it's for summertime outdoor campfires or for indoor fire stoves. Like, it's not like there's no off season for this firewood. So these are the other bundles here. So you let me know. Does this, my process, my logic, my way of method, does it make sense? Could I do it more efficient, better? I feel that I'm at a good price point. I feel that making these smaller splits with a neck splinter is definitely safer than using an axe, and a lot faster than using my hydraulic splitter, the Champion, to make these bundles. The only drawback is I don't have a lot split at one time. So if I need kindling, I have to bring it, like I said before, I have to bring out my splitter, bring out the cord, plug it in, and do it. And I usually only do 1 wheelbarrow full of those flat board pieces, and that's enough to make like 4 bundles more or less of cedar, and that'll get me by for at least a week. Again, like I said before, these bundles of Cedar Kindling are not flying off the shelves, but they are a good money maker. I can sell more or less just under a cubic foot of campfire like bundle wood for $5, whereas I can sell a little bit more wood in the bundler for double the price. But I'm selling because, I mean, to make these smaller splits, that takes time. Yes, I had the tools to do it, but and then having to package it, having to go through to separate the premium versus the non-premium. So yeah, so that's where I'm at in terms of my kindling. Just kind of an add-on, more of an explanation of how I go about that. But you let me know your thoughts. Maybe I'm like cuckoo nuts, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.